There's a voice inside your mind right now. You've heard it all day. Maybe it's telling you what happened earlier or worrying about what's coming tomorrow. Like, it never stops, does it? But here's something most people never realize. You are not that voice. You are the one listening to it. And in this moment, right now, you have the chance to step away from that endless noise and discover something far deeper. A place where time doesn't exist, where worry fades, where peace lives quietly beneath everything. Tonight, let yourself rest in that space. Let go of what was and what might be. All that matters is here, now, with you. You're watching The Book Sanctuary. Tonight, we explore one of the most transformative books ever written about the human mind and spirit. It was crafted by a man named Eckhart Tolle, someone who spent years lost in his own suffering before discovering a truth so simple yet so profound that it changed everything. This book isn't about learning more. It's about unlearning the patterns that keep you trapped in fear, regret, and restlessness. It's about finding stillness in a world that never stops moving. As you listen, you don't need to take notes or remember every word. Just let the ideas wash over you like a gentle wave. Let them settle into the quiet parts of your mind. This isn't a lesson, it's a return to the only moment that truly exists, the one you're living right now. So breathe slowly, relax your shoulders, and allow yourself to simply be here with nothing to fix, nothing to prove, and nowhere else to go. Chapter 1, The Voice in Your Head. Most of us live our entire lives inside our own thoughts. We wake up thinking, we move through the day thinking, we fall asleep thinking, and somewhere along the way, we forget that thinking is just one small part of who we are. We start to believe that the voice in our head, the one that judges, analyzes, worries, and narrates everything, is us. But it's not. Imagine standing in a crowded room where everyone is talking at once. You can hear the noise, but you're not creating it. That's what your mind is like. It's constantly producing thoughts, and most of them aren't even original. They're recycled memories, old fears, and patterns learned long ago. Yet we take them so seriously. We let them control how we feel, what we believe, and how we see the world. The truth is, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are the space in which thoughts appear and disappear, like clouds passing through a clear sky. When you begin to see this, something shifts. You realize you don't have to believe every thought that comes. You don't have to follow every emotion that arises. You can simply watch them without judgment and let them go. This watching, this quiet awareness, is the beginning of freedom. It's the first step toward living in the present moment instead of being lost in the stories your mind tells you. And once you take that step, you'll start to notice something remarkable. Beneath all the noise, there's a deep stillness, a peace that was always there, waiting for you to come home. Chapter 2, The Illusion of Time. We spend most of our lives either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. We replay old conversations, wishing we had said something different. We imagine disasters that haven't happened yet and may never happen. We convince ourselves that happiness is just around the corner once we get the job, the relationship, the house, the vacation. But when we finally get those things, the satisfaction fades quickly, and we're back to chasing the next thing. This endless cycle keeps us from experiencing the only moment that's real, this one, right now. The past is just a memory, a collection of thoughts stored in your mind. The future is an imagined projection, a fantasy that hasn't arrived yet. Neither of them exists outside your thinking. The only thing that's truly alive, truly real, is the present moment. And yet, most of us are never here. We're always somewhere else, trapped in time. Think about it. When you're washing the dishes, are you really there? Or is your mind planning dinner, replaying an argument, or scrolling through mental to-do lists? When you're talking to someone, are you listening, or are you waiting for your turn to speak? Most of the time, we're not present. We're living in our heads, and life is passing us by. But here's the beautiful truth. Time is an illusion. Yes, clocks exist, schedules exist, but psychological time, the kind that traps us in regret and anxiety, is something we create, and we can stop creating it. We can choose, in any moment, to return to the now, to feel the air on our skin, to notice the sounds around us, to simply be without needing anything to be different. When you do this, something extraordinary happens. Problems that seemed overwhelming suddenly lose their grip. Stress dissolves, fear fades, because in this moment, right now, there is no problem. There is only life unfolding as it is, and you witnessing it with quiet awareness. Chapter 3, The Pain Body Inside. Each of us. There's a kind of emotional residue, a collection of old hurts, disappointments, and unresolved pain. It's not something we consciously carry, but it lives in our bodies, dormant most of the time, until something triggers it. When that happens, it wakes up. And when it does, it takes over. You've felt this before. Maybe someone said something that shouldn't have bothered you, but suddenly you're furious. Or a small inconvenience ruined your entire day. Or you found yourself falling into sadness for no clear reason. That's the pain body. It's an accumulation of past suffering that feeds on negativity. And the tricky part is it doesn't want to be healed. It wants to survive. So it creates situations where you feel hurt, angry, or miserable, because that's how it sustains itself. The pain body can take many forms. Sometimes it's obvious, explosive anger, deep depression, overwhelming anxiety. Other times it's subtle, a low-grade irritation, a sense of dissatisfaction, a vague feeling that something's wrong. But in every case, it pulls you out of the present moment and into old stories, old wounds, old patterns. The way out is simple, though not always easy. You have to become aware of it. When you feel that familiar heaviness, that surge of emotion that seems too big for the situation, pause. Don't act on it. Don't feed it with more thoughts or reactions. Just notice it. Say to yourself quietly, "This is the pain body," and then watch it. Feel it in your body without judging it or trying to make it go away. When you bring awareness to the pain body, something miraculous happens. It loses power. It can't survive in the light of your presence. It can only thrive in unconsciousness, in the dark corners where you're not looking. But when you shine the light of awareness on it, it begins to dissolve. And beneath it, you'll find something you may have forgotten, a deep, unshakable peace that was always there, waiting for you to notice. Chapter 4. The ego and separation. There's a part of you that constantly needs to be right, that compares yourself to others, that feels threatened when things don't go your way, that needs to be seen, validated, and recognized. This part isn't your true self. It's what we call the ego. The ego is a mental construct, an identity built from your thoughts, your past, your possessions, your roles, your beliefs. It's the I that says, "I am a doctor, I am a parent, I am successful, I am a failure." It's the voice that says, "I need this to be happy," or "I can't stand that person." It's the part of you that lives in constant fear because it knows deep down that it's not real. It's just a story you've been telling yourself for so long that you forgot it was a story. The ego thrives on separation. It sees itself as separate from others, separate from life, separate from the world. It's always defending, attacking, competing, comparing. It can never rest because it's always under threat. Someone disagrees with you? The ego feels attacked. Someone has more than you. The ego feels less than. Someone criticizes you. The ego crumbles or fights back. But here's the truth. You are not your ego. You are the awareness that sees the ego. You are the space in which the ego appears. And when you realize this, the ego begins to lose its grip. You stop taking everything so personally. You stop needing to be right all the time. You stop seeking validation from others. You become free. This doesn't mean you lose your personality or your sense of self. It means you stop identifying with the small, fearful, separate self and start recognizing the deeper self that connects you to everything. The self that is whole, complete, and at peace, regardless of what's happening in your life. Chapter 5, The Art of Acceptance. Life will never be perfect. Things will go wrong. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. That's not pessimism, it's reality. And yet, most of us spend our lives resisting this reality. We fight against what is, wishing it were different, believing that our resistance will somehow change things. But resistance doesn't change anything, it only creates suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean you like what's happening. It doesn't mean you approve of injustice or cruelty. It doesn't mean you stop taking action to improve your life. It simply means you stop fighting against the present moment. You stop saying, this shouldn't be happening, and you start saying, this is happening. And in that shift, something opens up. When you accept what is, you free up all the energy you were using to resist. You become clear, calm, and capable of responding wisely instead of reacting blindly. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being a conscious participant in your life. You stop blaming the world, other people, or yourself, and you start seeing clearly what needs to be done, if anything. Acceptance is not passivity, it's presence. It's being fully here with what is without the mental commentary that says it shouldn't be this way. And from that place of acceptance, real change becomes possible. Not the forced, effortful change that comes from resistance, but the natural, flowing change that comes from clarity and alignment with life itself. Chapter 6, Relationships and Presence. Most relationships are not really relationships, they're mutual ego arrangements. Two people come together, each hoping the other will fulfill them, complete them, make them happy. And for a while, it works. There's excitement, passion, a sense of finally being whole. But then, inevitably, the cracks appear. Expectations aren't met. Needs aren't satisfied. And what started as love turns into resentment, blame, and conflict. This happens because most people are not truly present in their relationships. They're looking for something from the other validation, security, identity, happiness. They're using the relationship to escape their own inner emptiness. And when the other person fails to fill that emptiness, which they always will, the relationship becomes a source of pain. True intimacy is only possible when both people are present, when they're not lost in their minds, not playing roles, not defending their egos, when they can simply be with each other without needing anything to be different. This doesn't mean there's no conflict or difficulty. It means that conflict is met with awareness, not reaction. It means that the other person is seen as they truly are, not as a projection of your needs or fears. When you bring presence into your relationships, everything changes. You stop trying to change the other person. You stop taking things personally. You stop playing the victim or the accuser. You become a space of acceptance. And in that space, love can flow naturally. Not the needy, clinging kind of love that the ego wants, but the deep, unconditional love that simply is. Chapter 7, Surrender and Letting Go. The word surrender has a negative connotation for many people. It sounds like giving up, like weakness, like defeat. But true surrender is not about giving up. It's about giving in to life, to the present moment, to what is. It's about releasing the need to control everything and trusting that life knows what it's doing. Most of us live in a constant state of resistance. We resist our feelings. We resist our circumstances. We resist other people. We resist life itself. And this resistance creates an enormous amount of suffering. It's exhausting, it's painful, and it's completely unnecessary. Surrender doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you stop fighting against the present moment. You accept what is, and from that acceptance, you act. You do what needs to be done, but you do it without the heavy burden of resistance. You move with life, not against it. Think of a river. The water doesn't fight its way downstream. It flows. It follows the path of least resistance, and yet over time, it carves through mountains. That's the power of surrender. It's not passive, it's not weak. It's the strongest thing you can do because it aligns you with the natural flow of life. When you surrender, you stop exhausting yourself trying to make life conform to your expectations. You stop arguing with reality. You stop saying, this shouldn't be happening. You simply allow things to be as they are, and you respond from a place of clarity and presence. And in that surrender, you find a peace that doesn't depend on anything external, a peace that's always there, beneath the surface, waiting for you to stop fighting and come home. In Chapter 8, The Inner Body, your body is not just a physical object, it's a field of energy, a living presence. And most of the time, we're completely cut off from it. We live in our heads, lost in thoughts, and we forget that we have a body at all until it hurts or until we need it to do something. But there's another way to relate to your body. You can feel it from the inside. Not think about it, but feel it. Right now, without moving, can you feel your hands? Not by touching them, but by sensing the subtle energy inside them. That tingling, that aliveness, that's your inner body, and it's always there. When you bring your attention into your inner body, something shifts. Your mind becomes quieter. You become more present. The constant chatter of thoughts slows down because your attention is no longer feeding them. You're not thinking about the past or the future. You're simply here, feeling the aliveness within you. This practice is incredibly simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. It anchors you in the present moment. It connects you to the deeper dimension of who you are, the part of you that's timeless, formless, and eternal. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. You start to feel it throughout your day, while you're walking, while you're working, while you're listening to someone speak. Your inner body is a portal to presence. It's a doorway to the now. And it's always available to you, no matter where you are or what's happening. All you have to do is feel it. Chapter 9, Beyond Happiness and Unhappiness. Most people spend their lives chasing happiness and running from unhappiness. They believe that if they can just get the right job, the right partner, the right house, the right body, then they'll finally be happy. But it never works. Happiness comes and goes. It's dependent on conditions, and conditions are always changing. What if there's something beyond happiness and unhappiness, something deeper, more stable, more real? There is. It's called peace, and it's not dependent on anything external. It doesn't come and go based on what's happening in your life. It's always there beneath the surface, waiting for you to stop chasing and start noticing. Peace is not a feeling. It's a state of being. It's the natural state of your true self when you're not identified with your thoughts, your emotions, or your circumstances. It's the stillness beneath the waves, the silence beneath the noise, the space in which everything arises and passes away. You can't find peace by trying to make your life perfect. You find it by accepting your life as it is, by letting go of the need for things to be different, by being fully present with whatever is here right now. And when you do that, you realize that peace was never lost. You were just looking for it in the wrong place. Happiness is lovely when it comes, but it's fleeting. Peace is eternal. It's who you are beneath all the stories, beneath all the drama, beneath all the seeking. And it's available to you right now in this moment if you're willing to stop, breathe, and simply be. Tonight, you've taken a journey into the heart of presence. You've explored the voice in your head, the illusion of time, the pain that lives in your body, and the peace that lives beyond it all. These aren't just ideas. They're invitations. Invitations to live differently, to see differently, to be differently. The present moment is not something you have to search for. It's already here. It's always here. You are already home. You just forgot for a while, lost in the endless thoughts about what was and what might be. But now you remember. And every time you return to the now, every time you feel the aliveness in your body, every time you watch your thoughts without getting lost in them, you strengthen that remembrance. Life will continue. Challenges will come. Emotions will rise and fall. But beneath it all, there's a stillness that nothing can touch, a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, a presence that is your true nature. And the more you rest in that presence, the more you realize this is what you've been searching for all along. Not in the future, not in the past, but here, now, in the quiet space of simply being. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the book Sanctuary and let the world of words inspire your soul.